This is the Little Moments Count radio podcast, created in partnership with community radio stations throughout Minnesota. Each episode, you'll hear interviews with early childhood experts on how to support the important brain development that takes place in the first 1,000 days of life, just through little moments every day. Learn more at littlemomentscount.org/podcast.
FM 89.9 KMOJ. And letting you know, ladies and gentlemen, right about now, it's time to lock in, and we're talking about Little Moments Count. Now, this afternoon's episode of Little Moments Count is in partnership with Little Moments Count, and it is a statewide collaborative focusing on helping parents and caregivers learn about the importance of brain development in the first 3 years of a young one's life. Nearly 80% of brain growth happens at the first 1,000 days of a smallest person's moment of interaction. When it comes with talking, playing, reading, singing, touching, the whole nine, that's when it all gets started. And I'm letting you know, if you like more information or a copy of this afternoon's show, we can lock in at littlemomentscount.org. And for this afternoon, I got Jamie Morgan. I like to say good early afternoon, and how are you doing?
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me on the show, Q-Bear.
It is definitely my pleasure, my pleasure. And for the listening audience, can you give us just a little bit about yourself? Because I know that you are the proprietor of a mobile children's bookstore, which basically travels throughout the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and surrounding area. And it's entitled Baby Cakes Book Stack. So give us just a little bit about what that is all about before we get started.
That is correct. Baby Cakes Book Stack is a mobile bookstore, meaning we are in a bookmobile, and we participate in community events. Like recently we were at Open Streets along North Broadway. We also partner with different food co-ops like Mississippi Market, and we're at the Mill City Farmers Market monthly. We pride ourselves on making books available for readers, for families that allow readers to see themselves on the shelves. Basically, we carry a wide variety of books in different cultures and languages. At any point in time, we have upwards of 20 different languages on the shelves. We also carry books by a lot of local authors. And our goal, again, for people to see themselves on the shelves, meaning that this is a space that is welcoming of different cultures. You can walk in and just breathe a sigh of relief because you can see characters that look like you who have experiences similar to yours, and you can also learn about other cultures as well. We mostly specialize in children's books, but we do have some adult books in the store, all the way through adults. So high school kids can come in, middle school, and elementary, and we have lots of books for babies.
So if someone would like to get in contact with you, do you have a number, a website, or how can they do so?
Yes, so our website is babycakesbookstack.com, BABYCAKES, Baby Cakes Book, BOOK, Stack, STACK.com. And also, if you look that up on any of the social medias, you'll also find us and find our schedule to see where we will be at. And I can tell you more later on about where our next event will be.
Okay. So now can you give us just a little insight when it comes to that early young age of reading to a youngster, reading to a child, and getting that feel and that understanding of the real true purpose of that? Because there's a lot that a lot of people don't understand when it comes to the importance of reading to a youngster when it comes to that very early age.
Sure. As you mentioned in your introduction, reading during that first 1,000 days and even beyond that is critical. Studies show that babies begin processing language before they're even born, and so their brains throughout childhood are in growth and learning mode. So what you do with your child, like reading, singing, narrating what you're doing around them, engaging them in back and forth style communication, that sets the foundation for language expression, reading comprehension, and learning and paying attention in school. So reading together for even as little as, I'd say 15 minutes a day, gives the opportunity for parental bonding with your child, talking about hard communications like talking about puberty, things that may not necessarily come up easily in conversation. You can address those if they're in a book, and the character in the book is experiencing that. And also lends to school readiness.
Yeah, because I was definitely going to ask you about the importance of when it comes to a youngster and a young one's life and them seeing themselves in the stories in some of these books and that action or interaction that they feel from it that gives them that positive force. Can you talk about that for a moment?
Yes. So our motto is see yourself on the shelf. I loved reading when I was growing up because my mom read to me and with me and my siblings a lot. But one thing that was not always available was culturally relevant material that wasn't only focused on the struggles of our community. So I don't even know that it was known what the impact would be to not have books that showed children of color on self-esteem, self-acceptance, and a sense of belonging in this world that, as we know, doesn't value the unique features and beautiful qualities of communities of color. But I don't know if you recall, there was a Dow study, the Clark Dow test, that showed overwhelmingly that even black children in this study thought that the black doll, they had a white doll and a black doll, they were exactly the same. And the white children as well as the black children thought that the black doll was quote-unquote bad. And this negative self-perception leads to children, in this study, it led to these children preferring the white doll and a sense of inferiority because they also had to identify, well, which doll do I look like after they've already said, well, this black doll is bad. So this Clark Dow test showed that we absolutely need to see ourselves in positive ways every day. And the media perpetuates negative stereotypes, but we can counter that with what we choose to consume in our own homes. Books that have modern-day characters of color as the main character, who are displaying qualities like courage, friendships, compassion. And also, reading together gives the opportunity to see other cultures in a positive way, which can affect how we interact with others in the world.
Okay. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we are locked in with Little Moments Count. It's a show that takes place here on KMOJ every other Tuesday. And it starts at 3:30 until about 3:35, 3:40, somewhere around there. But in the midst of it, we try to lock in with information that helps you as a parent or caregiver understand the importance of reading to your youngster and letting them understand that it's okay to see images of themselves and understand that everything is a positive force when they look at it, when they finally get done, and they start balancing the difference between good and bad, and then also understanding at the end that there's also more to come around the corner as they get older and they grow within their studies. What are some of the things that you would say for a caregiver or a parent, someone out there that you would encourage to say to them, to encourage them to read to their youngster?
Well, you have a unique opportunity to really impact how your child is going to see themselves and see how they interact in the world that doesn't value them. I often have children and adults show gratitude and deep emotion when they come in the store, when they see books with diverse characters. One person even shed tears of joy and sadness because she needed to see these books when she was growing up. And I firmly believe that not seeing yourself is psychologically damaging, and it leads to internalized racism, which is accepting and adopting flawed viewpoints of how you are and who you are and how you behave. So we need to read books with our children, not just about civil rights and our hardships. That is absolutely critical to help build a foundation, but we also need to talk about hair acceptance and discussing colorism, cultural foods, poetry and novels in verse, language, neurodiversity, and modern-day examples of scientists and leaders in communities of color.
And if someone would like to get in contact with Jean-May Morgan, and we're talking about Baby Cake's book stack, how can they get in contact with you? And then even beyond that, what are some of the things that you have coming up around the corner that we need to know about as well?
Yes, absolutely. So again, the website is babycakesbookstack.com, and we are on Facebook and Instagram. And also, as far as upcoming events, you can see those on our website and on social media. But on October 18th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., we'll be at 201 Chicago Avenue as part of Mill City Farmers Market. And we'll have story time at 11 a.m. Also, that same day in the afternoon, we're working on movie night and Rondo along Selby Avenue at Selby and Grotto in conjunction with Rondo Community Land Trust. And that would be from 3 to 6. That is dependent on the weather, if we'll have that outdoor movie night. Also, we're preparing for an upcoming event in February. We are going to participate at the Minneapolis Home and Garden Show, and we'll have the new book by Michael Threets called I'm So Happy You Are Here, and have his autographed book covers. And he's going to be the new host of Reading Rainbow, and he's only the second host in addition to LeVar Burton. So we're pretty excited to have that book coming out at the beginning of February and be able to present that in February.
Okay. And if by chance I missed a question or two, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yes, that we are the community bookstore for Minneapolis and St. Paul. You can find us at community events and music festivals and art events. You're always welcome to reach out to me and to email. We do work with community organizations to diversify libraries, and you can reach out to me by email at info@babykakesbookstack.com. And we also will take the bookstore to private events, and if you go on our website, you'll see how you can book the bookmobile.
No doubt. Well, I want to say thank you very much, and you have a blessed day, okay?
Thank you so much. Love to you all.
No doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Jamie Morgan, and letting you know about Baby Cakes Book Stack, as well as Little Moments Count. Little Moments Count, you can check it out every Tuesday, every other Tuesday, and that's from 3:30 until around 3:40, where we give you information, as I stated prior to. But if you also like a recording of what you just heard, you can always lock in at littlemomentscount.org/podcast or littlemomentscount.org. It's FM 89.9 KMOJ, no doubt about it. It's the People's Station.
Thanks for listening to the Little Moments Count radio podcast in partnership with community radio stations throughout Minnesota. You can find the Little Moments Count radio podcast wherever you get your podcasts and at littlemomentscount.org/podcast.